Okay, so we're here with another speed spriting thing. This is about 8 times speed, I think. So we're doing a Schoolboy's Day, more or less. I'm starting from a different Schoolboy sprite. I have said this before in previous spriting videos, which if you have not watched those and are interested in this sort of thing, you maybe should go watch those. There's a playlist for them. I've said this in the past, but I always prefer to, with this kind of thing, work from a base, in this case a canon sprite, that way I can keep it stylistically consistent and things like that. Plus it just saves time. So I'm going through stuff here, the first thing I did was just kind of clean up the sprite, remove like those bags and stuff from the original pose, and I'm gonna be taking that kind of like clumsy schoolboy pose and turning him into kind of a more cocky, little brat kind of schoolboy, rich brat really. Let's go with that. So I cleaned up the stuff, I got that out of the way. I also, you will have noticed I'm kind of speaking on delay here. Switched up the blacks and whites so they weren't pure white, added the green background so I could keep my transparency separate, and now I'm just going to start modifying the pose. I prefer to do the pose first because it's the hardest thing, and also there's not much point in doing the other stuff until you've done the big thing, like, you gotta do the color and the shading after the form, otherwise you're just gonna have to redo all the color and the shading. So I'm gonna spend a lot of time here fiddling around with his hands, which, here I'm gonna demonstrate that I have no tricks for drawing hands. I just kind of try stuff until it looks good, and goodness, especially with this right hand, I have to try a lot. But I kind of, I'm going to take this hand here, you see it floating around, I'm putting it on the second layer, that way I can copy it over like that, and then when I clear out stuff like that, I can get to the face underneath, and it's super simple. I'll merge that later once it gets my way again, but graphic scale is really good at handling layers. It's really good at saving layers if you use the gal format. It's just highly recommending graphic scale as always. This hand is a struggle. I also grabbed, you'll see, the white little bar by his left cheek. That was just a palette so I could have some colors to organize, like the collar that I popped out from him on. Also going to be the cuffs of his sleeves. Also going to be his shoes later on. That's just so I can keep those colors straight. Clearly touching up the other hand here because I was not satisfied with that. I'm never really satisfied with hands, It's like, what is that? 5 by 5 at most space. Maybe more with how that hand originally was, but it's not a lot of room. And you have pixels. How can you make fingers with squares? You can't do it. You just can't do it. So you do your best and you move on. I moved on. But it's not bad. I got to a place where I could be comfortable with it. And I think that's the best we can do. So anyway, I'm adding the detail into his clothes. I also pick a palette for the blue. I'm going to overwrite that with a gray, just because that's the look I'm going for. Reborn, we gotta have our grays, even after the city's rebuilt. Come on, you know this. I'm also going to do the same in a moment for the pants and get another palette filled. The pants are going to be black, and if I were working on a color budget, like a lot of sprites in professional games, recoloring the hair here, not the pants, forgot about the hair, that's important, I'm going to add some details to it, but a lot of like professional games, especially older ones, they have to keep themselves to a color limit, like 8-bit, where they can only use 256 colors in full graphic, and sometimes that's 16 colors in the GBA, and it's bad, it's rough. But I can do that, but I don't need to do that for this, so I don't. But if I were doing that, I would not be doing what I'm about to do here, which is pull the palette from the grays and deliberately make slightly different grays, slightly darker, slightly less bluish. But the reason I do that is on purpose because I want, in case I have to edit this later, I want to have the palette colors of the pants separate from the palette colors of the vest. That way I can just quickly go in as the color adjusting thingy and in like 2 seconds change all the pant colors without it accidentally affecting the vest colors. So there's a tip if you don't have to count your colors. It's like counting calories. Don't do it. It's not healthy. None of it is healthy. Sometimes necessary, I guess. Ish, or at least people have said so in the past, but if you don't have to, don't do it. So anyway, save it, make it transparent, double the size. I'm picking up one last detail here, but that's about that. Thank you guys for watching.